And I think it's fun because you're right. Dax tells it really well. I'll have to put the link to the short.
He's got that accent. He's got like the Northern Yankee accent.
Almost like a mix of Midwestern.
Yeah, that's right. He's kind of Midwestern.
Midwestern Yankee. They're all Yankees, right?
Yeah. They from here. And no, I love that. And I love the humility for Dax and Kristen. I say their names because I feel like I know them.
You know what I mean? That's a problem with podcasts today. Is when you feel like you know people too much.
Yeah, that's right. We're in the same space.
Yeah.
Same industry.
Same industry.
But also love that response, like the ability to swallow your pride and not only not acknowledge and say, dude, I'm Dax Shepard and look at my wife as Kristen Bell.
Yeah. Oh, he could have gone over there and 100% embarrassed him in a way that was probably more embarrassing to him, to Dax.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big shot.
But he not only
know who I am.
Yeah, he didn't choose, he chose not to do that. And then on top of that, pay for his meal. So that to me, I love that. I mean,
like
cool.
that. I think that should be encouragement to us. Like, if we really want to really challenge people, like, man, do it in ways that really, like, is like kill with kindness in a lot of ways. I think that's a good example.
Yeah.
But it's also like he could have, like, I'm sure his t-shirt was probably $100, $200 t-shirt. It's probably one of those designer t-shirts. So, which is kind of even funny about it.
Yeah.
So he could have gone over there and bowed up. It's like, but who wins with that one? You know?
Yeah, nobody wins.
But in that moment, like
but it feels like you win though.
Really, that is a win-win in that situation, the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because one, like, hey, they feel better about the response. You know, and they kind of got to go, I just bought your meal, bro. And that guy got to leave, not because they embarrassed him, but it was a way to not embarrass him with strength, but embarrass him in a way with, that allows change to come in.
Yeah.
Not overpower, which is a lot of people think that's the way to get people's changes with power. It's like come in with, a level of humility. It's like you're inviting that person to change in that moment.
Yeah.
Which is a very Christ-like feature, right? You're inviting that person to change. Anyway, I thought that was a good one.
Isn't it interesting how some of those small, like we've been talking about, these small moments that maybe nobody else even notices, that like really hit us in our egos. Isn't it funny how that those type things can shape us more in a way? Like I can remember example after example of things like that happened in my life that probably nobody else in the room noticed.
Yeah.
But I still remember, and I've like, it shaped me a little bit, like not necessarily like, ooh, don't do that again, but like, hey man, you really don't need to be like that guy, overconfident. Like you don't need to be, you can know your stuff without having to be at the top.
Yeah.
And everybody else knowing you're at the top. And it took these small moments where it like poked my ego that I remember way more than like trying to find a new job or like some of the big chapters in our life or like, I don't know, getting fired from a job, trying to find a new job or like, being rejected by a family member or like whatever it could be. Like it's the small ones that like sometimes in a way kind of hurt the most, maybe because they're so unexpected.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe that's why, but it's interesting how those shape us even more in a way. Those small humbling moments. How do you think, or why do you think men often miss these moments? Like, why do you think, they just go unnoticed by men a lot of the times? Or maybe that's a bad way to phrase the question. Maybe it's, why do they not see the lesson? Yeah, like the opportunity there to like become better, or like, is it because they are viewed as so small, or like, do some people like not feel that? Like, are there some people out there that like don't feel the ego poke that we do? Like, are their egos so big that like they don't even notice when they've been poked?
Probably. There's probably
I guess that's my question.
I mean, there's something called narcissism, right? Where you see the things through a lens.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, 100%. That's like, where everything is deflected. The way to survive and to protect, they're living in survival mode, narcissists, of like, I have to constantly either be the hero or the victim. There's no middle ground. So I'm constantly deflecting to make myself look like either one. But that's, but we're talking about these everyday men out there, because I'm like, it's just a lot of us, we just don't have the practice. We don't take stock at the end of the day. We don't reflect and go, hey, what was good, or why didn't I like that, or why didn't that go well, or we don't think, or we think constantly in an adjusted behavior of like, well, I just won't do that again. It's like if something goes wrong, or whether it's at work or in your marriage or in a relationship, or even in sports, think about it in sports. It's like, like if you make a bad play, you don't do it, like, and you immediately think, well, I just won't do that again. It's like, well, you just doomed yourself, because now I try to
You're gonna strike out again.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then you're not playing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. But I think
Yeah.
that we think we do that in life. And it's like, well, no, the answer is like, how do I go think differently about this? How do I process? How do I improve? How do I get help? How do I seek help? Get that humility piece, right?
Well, is there
Yeah.
anything like more refreshing, like a man that you respect and like look up to, like willing to acknowledge, like, or tell a story about a time that they screwed up? Like, I love it when guys like
100%.
guys that are like super successful. Like, I've got guys in my life that are in their 50s and that I'm like, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
And almost every single time, like when they tell a story about like a vulnerable moment,
Yeah.
it's almost like another way to connect. And then my respect for them doesn't go down because they struck out. My respect for them goes up
You're right.
because it's like, oh, he's willing to admit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And anyway, even when you're like, oh, he could make a mistake, man. You know what I mean? Like gosh, he's got it going on.
Right.
And then when you hear a story about when they actually did mess up, or like they were embarrassed. Like, is there anything worse than feeling embarrassed as a man? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, probably there is, but
Yeah.
like that guy felt embarrassed like this one time. I went through something like that, like respect. My point is respect doesn't go down when you hear somebody like that say that. It's like, I respect that guy even more.
Yeah.
And I like him even more. I want to spend time with this guy, like I want to be around him. I want to hear more stories like that.
Humility is attractive. I don't, some way along the lines, maybe we miss that as young boys, and we miss that part, right? Or maybe there's a way to protect ourselves by not being humble. But you make a good point, Bo. It's like, it really is when some guys are willing to humble in that moment, and actually, oh man, that a moment where I was embarrassed, I was humbled, I was disappointed, or I failed, like, oh, that's a great learning tool. Something I learned that I can then, one, it improves my life, improves what I do on a regular basis, but also can be helpful for somebody else. Like that, just process that, it's wild that so many men are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s and just never really done that. Any bit of failure they internalized, or they just dismissed. They threw it off. And like that is a mark of somebody that is really, one, attractive to someone to learn from, but also like someone who is really needs to have respect. Hey guys, Carl right here. Excited about what we're doing at Men Are Forged. If you want to participate in one of our episodes, please send in a question. We want this podcast to answer the questions you're asking in the description. Click that link. Hey, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.